Welcome to Verbal Pick Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. I'd like to welcome you to the show. I'm your host, Vince Cole Muhammad, a.k.a. Cole Black, the state of the universe before the creator put the sun in the sky. And we got some background music for you today, some old school, so we're going to keep it rolling, right? Now, I want to set this up because, as we all know, the extent of our history and the things that we cultivated and that we produced. And one of those things we cultivated was the coffee bean, 9th century in Ethiopia. This was predicated to the Oromo, which is where they got Rome from. And also at the time of when Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, sent 83 of his followers to Ethiopia for protection when the Muslims were being persecuted, then King Negus, Negus, took him in and showed him protection. And guess what have you was in the mix at that time? The coffee bean. So definitely we want to have Brother Richard on the show today, which we are. He's going to speak to you about By Any Being Necessary, which is pretty deep of a title, not only relaying back to the famous quote of Brother Malcolm X, but that coffee bean, wherever you saw the original man and woman, that coffee was there. Traveled all over the planet. So definitely we keeping this tradition alive because the original man founded coffee and understood the uses of coffee. And now in today's time, 2017 leading into 2018, we have the continuation of this coffee and in the hands of a Brother Richard, who, upright, a righteous man who would give you the best product and give you something that I believe we all deserve. And we'll get in more the extent of why I say he would give you what you deserve in later on into this broadcast. So I'd like to welcome you to the show, Brother Richard. How you feeling?
Fine, sir. How you doing, brother?
I can't complain, brother. Enjoying it, and I'm glad to have you on the show. Now, and the reason why, now we're going to get back into that original statement that I made, the coffee that you deserve, because speaking to you the other day, you was explaining to me that there's different types of coffee beans.
Yes, sir.
Some bitter, I guess some would be roasted smooth, and there's a different type of roast that you can have on a coffee bean. Can you break that down?
Yes, sir. There's the main two beans are Robusta and Arabica beans. And one is more of a bitter bean, which would be the Robusta, and it's grown in different parts, mostly in Asia and some parts of Africa. It's a stronger bean. And also, the altitude has a lot to do with the coffee. You have mid-altitude coffee, you have high-altitude coffee, you have low-altitude coffee. And that makes the coffee have different flavors, bitterness, things of that nature. The acid level, like a mid-altitude coffee, it has less of a acid. A lot of people can't take that as far as the types of coffee they drink. It's more of a mild coffee, and that's what I started with. I started with a Colombian bean from a small community of coffee growers, not the big plantations that the quote-unquote Starbucks and Community Coffee and Folgers deal with. These are more common people that's their livelihood, is growing coffee that feeds their family. And we take those beans from our people, which, the teachers, they come from us, and we turn that into coffee, and we give them, full value for their bean, their crop. Right now we're focused on Colombia. A couple months we're going to move into Salvador and Colombia. And that's the three we're going to deal with right now. And I'm working on Africa. And here in about maybe 2 months, we're going to get into teas. Not everybody drinks coffee. A lot of people drink teas. We're going to start off with a line of green teas. We're going to go into some Chinese teas. Because, tea is up there with coffee, as far as I'm concerned, because a lot of people just don't like the original bean from the original man.
Worldwide, that's
worldwide.
Right. We are international, so we can go out and deal with our people throughout the globe.
That's right. According to the teachings, The Indians is what compose our overall numbers as far as population, and we're going to get that tea from India. We have one of brothers, Brother Dean and Muhammad. He's getting ready to fly to India and establish a relationship so we can have tea. We're going to start off with loose tea, and then we're going to work into bag tea and things of that nature. But we're trying to bring you the best from around the world for a price that the common working man can afford. And it's just getting something to our people that we've been dealing with for years. I started off loving coffee years ago, and me and some of the brothers, we talked about coffee, and then one of the brothers that me and you both know sat down and said, we're going to start a coffee company 5 years ago. Well, you know, his untimely death kind of put that on pause,
right.
But through a vision, woke up one night, you know, Allah said, you need to step out on faith, and that's what I'm doing. I'm stepping out on faith and trying to deliver the best of products to our people.
That's right.
Okay.
And we're back. We took a quick pause, but I want to let you all know that we are back, and we're picking up from the different altitudes. And as you know, that is mathematics, that's science. To think about the mind or the mindset of to discover the fact that and the experiments that had to take place, and I'm talking about in ancient times, to where you can understand that certain altitudes will have a certain effect on the beam. Could that be the pressures of gravity, which would squeeze the beam, or the higher of the lower pressures, which will open it up in a sense, or who knows? But you do have someone that studies. That's an art. I just call him an aficionado on the actual bean and the coffee. And I know that in times that as far as coffee and tea, which we'll get into tea next, but coffee and tea, people would sit and they would philosophize on different subjects because, especially with tea, they would say that it would stimulate the mind to give you thought. So, and the different health effects of tea. And we all know on Saturday mornings, back in the day when we would watch those karate flicks, they start out drinking that tea. Next thing you know, they in it. You know what I mean? All through Ip Man and whatnot. I like the show, so I had to bring that up. But yeah, but we appreciate that, man. But, man. Let's put it like this. We appreciate the fact that a brother would care enough to give us the best, because we know as a people sometimes they throw anything on the table at us and we wouldn't know the difference. We just drink it and think we got the best of what it was. But when you start studying, you understand, man, there's a different formula to the experiences that you have, let's say, with this coffee and tea, because it's bigger than just coffee and tea. Tea was made. We can go back in slavery days. Somebody got ill, and the grandma knew what field to go out into, what leaves to cut. They boil it up. That's tea. What different effects it would have on the body. The stimulations give you strength. They say they got coffee to increase your memory. They got so much out there that we need to partake in to enhance our everyday lives. So, in this journey, and I know you said that the brother's traveling to India, but in this journey, are you meeting interesting people and people who want to know about what's going on and what you're doing, and people who saying, giving you support, saying, yeah, bro, go ahead, you can do that, or people, because we say sometimes, you have an idea. Some people will try to, let's say, smush it aside or something, or be negative. And the only reason why I'm asking that question is I'm trying to plot the progression of a young brother starting a business in today's time. Because I know you say 10 years ago we would complain about support black-owned business. Now, in the present time, has things gotten better?
In America, I think it's pretty much stayed the same. The support for buying black is really not where it should be. But to answer your question, as far as internationally and dealing with the Salvadorans and the Colombians, they have love for the original man. And some of them are kind of kind of shocked that it took us this long to get involved in something that we really brought to life. As you said before, the Ethiopic, the original black man, brought the coffee bean to us as a people. And the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, get the best for your money. And that's what I'm trying to deliver to the people, according to the teachings, the best bean that we can get for our money. It's not always necessarily the most expensive bean that is the best.
Right.
Commercialism puts prices on beans. But the Colombians love us as a people, and they want to do business with people of like minds. We all know that the Yakubian goes over there and is pretty much robbing them.
Right. And they know it.
They know they're getting robbed. They're not getting their dollar. They give you this fair trade lie, but it's really not fair trade because for them it's the only trade. But getting back to the mathematics of the bean and the coffee, numbers as far as altitude is part of the equation on getting that cup of coffee. Also roasting time. The minutes, which is numbers, and the time it takes for them beans to crack, that is another formula that you use to get dark roast, light roast, medium roast. It's all numbers. The whole concept, picking the beans, even if you break it down to pea berry beans, that's 10%. Every 10th bean is a pea berry, and they extract those to make a different type of coffee. So the whole world is built on numbers. It's mathematics. And coffee is just another equation in the mathematic quest of knowledge. But we at Any Bean Necessary, the original man's coffee, we just try to make sure that we deliver the best product that we can for our people. And traveling the world, everybody that sells beans pretty much are glad that people enjoy the coffee. And number one, they like to answer questions. When you ask them questions, I didn't just wake up with all this coffee knowledge. I learned it from speaking to the people that live coffee on their plantations, different variants of coffee. It's just a learning process, and I'm grateful that these people entrusted me, giving me knowledge on the coffee bean where I can share with my friends. Most of my friends that's known me for a long time know that I drink the best of coffee. I won't drink coffee out of a can that's been sitting on a shelf for 2-3 years. Our coffee's ground every 2 weeks because we want to maintain that freshness. I want you to touch that bag and you can smell the coffee through the bag. And we're trying to get into different grades of coffee. And we don't claim to know it all. So if there's a region or a type of coffee that you would like us to look up and see if we can establish a relationship with those people and bring that bean to your household, by all means, visit the website, buyanybeannecessary.com, and just let us know what coffee you like or what you've heard about. I mean, we can go from the cheapest coffee in the world to Kopi Luwak, the most expensive coffee bean in the world. It's just up to whoever.
That's right. Look, Houston is said to be one of the most diverse cities in this nation. We want everyone to go out there and give it a try. By any means necessary. It says it all in the name. We appreciate Brother Richard for being on the show. Is there any information you'd like to leave out? I know about anybeansnecessary.com. Go look it up. Is there any other contacts you'd like them to have, or is that basically the one you send everybody to?
Yes, sir. buyanybeannecessary.com, or you can call us at 832-726-3563. And leave us a message if we don't get back to you. A lot of times we might be roasting or making deliveries, but hopefully we'll have it in your neighborhood shelf. But call us, buyanybeannecessary.com, and that's what we go by. We try to bring you the best bean by any beans necessary.
Word of mouth. All my listeners, I want you all to spread the word of mouth, share it, let people know. Try the coffee, and we'll do what I'd like for us to do is those of you who purchase the coffee online, we'll sit and have a coffee meeting of the minds, and we sit back, man, and sip some coffee, man, and then we'll talk about whatever. We'll talk about mathematics, we'll talk about universal law, we'll talk about the teaching, we'll talk about whatever have you. Just hit me up, but make sure you go out, visit the website by anybeansnecessary.com. Brother, I appreciate you for being on the show. Until next time.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.